Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a very good day. So for today's book review, I'm here to talk about Eona by Alison Goodman. This is the last book in the Eon duology. I thoroughly enjoyed this read a whole lot. It's definitely up there with my favorite young adult series of all time. If you're not familiar with Eon, it is a young adult fantasy series. Our main character is Eona, and in the first book we find out she is disguising herself as a boy. Why? Because she is a Dragon Eye warrior. And apparently all of the Dragon Eye warriors are male. And who are these Dragon Eye warriors? There are 12 warriors altogether, and each of them represent each animal on the Chinese zodiac. So there is the ox dragon, there's the rabbit dragon. Eona is the dragon. She is the mirror dragon. And what these warriors do, they help control the weather, and they help divert disasters or help with the crops and harvest. So these warriors are revered by their people. The mirror dragon actually hasn't shown up in their world for over 500 years. So when Eona shows up, it is a big deal. Anyways, in the first book, a lot of shit goes down. Lord Ido, who is the rat Dragon Eye warrior, he is the keeper of ambition. And with that ambition, he wants all of the powers of the other Dragon Eye warriors. Lord Ido is also conspiring with Sethon, who wants the throne for himself. And so lots of things go down. You just have to read that first book. Anyways, we're talking about Eona, right? And so what happens in Eona continues right after the first book. Eona has no training whatsoever. She cannot control her dragon powers. So she needs the help of Lord Ido to train her. She needs to restore balance. She needs to restore peace amongst this land and in this world. That's the synopsis of what Eon is all about, what Eona is all about. Next, guys, let me talk to you about the characters. Eona, I absolutely adore her character. I thought she was really well developed in this last book. I thought she came a long way since the last book. In the first book, we find that she has a lot of pride and she has difficulty asking for help, but not in Eona. She realizes that she needs help honing her dragon powers so she can save this world. So I thought that was fantastic. As far as the other characters, I won't go too much in depth because I'm going to dish in the spoilers because it's a lot of fun. What I will say about Lord Kygo, he is a very upstanding, honorable, you know, straight-laced kind of character, and it was interesting to read about his relationship with Eona. There's definitely an internal struggle with his character as well, between his heart and his duties. And lastly, there is Lord Ido, who is the rat Dragon Eye warrior. He is literally a rat bastard, he is. Lord Ido is one of those characters where he has an opportunity to redeem himself. So it was quite the journey to see how his character develops, and I really enjoyed reading about his character as well. As far as the other minor and side characters, I love them all. It's not just a main focus on Eona and Lord Ido and, you know, Emperor Kygo. It's about all of the other characters as well, and I connected to them just as strongly as these main characters. They are fantastically written. Next, I want to talk to you guys about the plot because it's amazing. It's been 2 years since I last read the first book, Eon, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get into this world again because it's been so long. I forgot a lot of things that happened in the first book, but fear not, Alison Goodman welcomed me with open arms because of her fantastic writing. What I absolutely adored in the first book was the writing and how she engaged your senses, especially the sense of smell. The amount of detail and texture within her writing is fantastic and made this world that much more real. And as well, there is action, there is adventure, but in between, when there is character development, there's dialogue, they were just as engaging as the action parts of the book. So I really enjoyed that as well. There's a lot of great themes going on throughout this book. I guess the more prevalent one that I identified was the struggle between selfishness and selflessness. There is a lot of internal struggle with each of these characters. The struggle between what they really want and what ultimately needs to be done. So it was very interesting to see how that all unfolded and how these characters dealt with those obstacles. So I really enjoyed that a whole lot. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to give Eona by Alison Goodman 5 stars out of 5. I really enjoyed it. There are aspects of the story which I will get into later in the spoilers where I don't know how I feel about it, but I just enjoyed it so much. The writing, the plot, the characters. It was engaging through and through, and I highly recommend checking it out. Let me know what you think. After you read Eona, come back to this video and we can discuss the spoilers. Spoiler alert, there's gonna be spoilers. I'm gonna talk about some more spoilers. Spoilers. Alright, so where do we start? Let's talk about the characters. Let's go more in depth. First of all, Eona. One of my tips with Eona, whenever a secret is revealed to her, she would get upset. And I'm thinking, Eona, that's kind of hypocritical for you to be getting upset when you're withholding secrets from that person, from Kygo. You're keeping secrets, he's keeping secrets, Lord Ido's keeping secrets, everyone's keeping secrets. Oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me? There's no communication. I thought it was kind of hypocritical for these characters to be getting upset. As far as the love interest, let's talk about Emperor Kygo. You know, he's straight-laced, he is very honorable, he's definitely his father's son, which Eona really admired. Kygo is also passionate and caring, and I just loved the dialogue going on between him and Eona's character, to see the tension between those two characters, and it was kind of a rough relationship throughout the book, but there was still tenderness there. I loved that realistic aspect of the relationship. Next, let's talk about the other love interest, Lord Ido, who is the rebel. He's the bad boy. He's the murderous monster from the last book. And apparently he tasted like oranges and vanilla. Alison Goodman's writing evoked those senses, so I thought that was fantastic. And I was super disappointed with his character at the end. The idealist in me was hoping he would redeem himself at the end, and unfortunately that did not pan out. You know, I thought Lord Ido had a wry sense of humor. He was confident and ambitious, and those are very attractive qualities in a person, but cruelty is a very ugly characteristic. Just because Lord Ido is tortured nearly to death, that doesn't absolve him from what he has done in the last book. And if Eona went down the Lord Ido route, you know, it won't be for a very long time until she actually forgives him. I don't know if she can truly forgive him. And the other two characters I absolutely adore, Raiko and Lady Della. Reading about their relationship and their characters, I absolutely adored those two. To see the struggle between their relationship, how much Lady Della loves Raiko, hurt so much, the fails. And Raiko dying at the end. Super sad that he died. Wasn't too surprised about his death though. And let's just segue into the healing, then we'll segue into the compelling. The healing, Eona being able to heal anyone, that's insane. It kind of dulls the reality aspect of the novel because no one can die. There is, of course, a high price to being healed, which is being compelled by Eona. This kind of reminded me of bloodbending from Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you're familiar. And let's just talk about the compelling because it's amazing and hilarious and crazy. So Eona being able to compel people, being able to take away their will. She can only do this if she heals you. And who gets healed? We have Raiko, who is compelled by pain, and we have Lord Ido, who is compelled by pleasure. Let's talk about this pleasure compelling thing. The most outrageous scene in the book, the cyclone scene. We have Lord Ido sneaking into Eona's room. It's like, hey girl, Eona, there's a cyclone. It's about to kill everyone on this boat. We have to stop the cyclone. Takes off shirt. Let's get it on. Let's save this boat. And Eona's like, okay, let's do this. And they do it, and they save the people. And it was amazing and ridiculous. You don't just engage in something so personal with someone like Lord Ido, who has killed a person. I would be conflicted if he came into my room. It's like, hey, Priscilla, we need to get it on because we have to save the people. I'll take off my shirt, you straddle my legs, and let's go, let's do this. There's nothing else going on here. We're just saving the people and that's it. And he would get a big slap across his face. And in spite of this ridiculous scene, I thoroughly enjoyed it a whole lot. So the cyclone scene, and poor Raiko, when he finds out that Eona can compel Lord Ido through this different means, super awkward for him. But anyways, that's definitely a high price. Let me know in the comments below, would you want to be healed if it meant having your will taken away from you? Through pain, not the pleasure one, through the pain. wrote, okay? And lastly, guys, I want to talk about the ending really quickly. I was floored by the ending. Holy crap, Goodman, you cut things down to the wire. Where Ido stabs Kaigo in the back, chest, whatnot, and he is dying. Gives Eona an ultimatum. I was on the edge of my seat. I was floored. Super sad about Ido, but you know, he got what was coming to him. And it was like, what just happened? Last 10 pages. It was intense and possibly a little too close for comfort for me at the end, but wow. Wow. Did anyone think of Beauty and the Beast in the end when the dragon heals Kaigo from his injuries? It's like, what? There's a lot of things that pull from other things that kind of reminded me of Eona, but overall, I really enjoyed the story. Characters, like I said, I was thoroughly engaged, and Alison Goodman's writing is fantastic and so well done, and I was there. I was in the zone. Definitely top 5 favorite young adult series. Definitely gonna make it on my top 2013 reading list for sure. I enjoyed it that much, and I am so glad to have discovered this series. If you haven't read this series, oh my gosh, why did you watch up to this point? Why? I just spoiled a bunch of things for you. Anyways, I hope you really enjoyed this book review and spoiler discussion. Let me know in your thoughts below what you thought of the book. If you're gonna read the book, read the book, read the book. Anyways, that is everything, guys. I will talk to you later. Have a very good one. Bye.